Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity with me, Bring It On.
Sand.
What? No, I mean, some have. Men. Foolish praise in any case. It's just an ordinary Valian accent.
Please?
Shodari. Dondari. Vecente kumane nishomenet.
Apologize for not pausing it sooner to hear more of Manea's voice acting. A little slow in the draw there. I'm trying to use a few more spells here. I feel like we'll have to rest after this fight anyway. And also, it's a good refresher for Durance's spells, since I don't remember where and which ones they are. So what is damaging Durance? He's not being targeted by this guy, was he? So I'm not sure what I'm missing. I don't see Durance taking damage here at all. The only thing affecting Durance is Pelagina's Flame of Devotion, which it's supposed to. See, this says it knocked... The Broodmother knocked him out, but with what? Doesn't help that his name is almost like Endurance, and it's the same color as Endurance as well. So I'm trying to decipher that. That's super inconvenient. So he's taking burn damage. So it doesn't show the ticking burn damage? Yeah, I think that's what took him out. That's the last thing I see affecting him. But it showed the damage over time. I haven't been paying this combat log much attention. I probably should, especially now that I've ramped up the difficulty. Oh wait, I didn't realize Aloth went down too.
There may... Tell me! Tell me!
Gosh, Dart's over there wailing on this guy. Barely doing any damage, but I mean, I guess it adds up over time. He's doing his best. He's gonna pop a couple of these just to try to keep her alive.
Sure.
Okay, not a very smooth fight. A shame too, because I was trying to use more spells. Alright, so I'm not gonna rest up yet. We're almost done with the map. We're actually gonna head back to Stalwart before we enter any of these caves, because I want to speak to Thieves. I'm gonna do the Wolf Cave before I do Flames That Whisper Caverns. Well, you know what, since there's camping supplies here, we may as well go ahead and rest. Actually, no, it's better to leave that there. So we have camping supplies there, we have camping supplies somewhere else. I'm gonna rest back in Stalwart anyway, and get a resting bonus. I got the achievement, all upgrades in Stronghold, which means that my last upgrade should be completed. By the time, if I heard that, hit my headset on the desk.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, look at that. Okay, we can also swing by the Temple of Andra and take care of that quest. But before I do anything, in case it breaks into fighting, let's go get some rest. We also have the ingredients for Rayfald? I already forgot his name. I just walked past him too. Those awkward moments. I was like, hey, man.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you?
I found the ingredients you asked for.
Still say a little hardship ought to put some sense into that man. But if you're set on giving him a hand, so be it. Give that here.
Ifrit grunts.
There. Get him to down that and he'll be right as rain. And you can tell him he owes you one. I would have let him stew for at least a year or so.
Thank you. Oh, let's rest first, then we'll go give him the
Back to
antidote.
warm your hands, eh? What can I top quality?
Yeah, this one. I mean, why would you not take this one? Let's do Dexterity, Might, and Constitution. It's a fantastic upgrade. It's only 50 more gold. Or shekels, or whatever this place uses. Do I actually have a different... No, I guess it counts as the same thing. They made a point to say that it was like the bone pieces. I think it'd be an interesting challenge to have a different type of currency that you have to accumulate for this area.
You have to help me. Ugh, I can't stay like this.
Rayfald sniffs. Give him the antidote. Here. Ifrik says this ought to do it.
Really? Oh, Anta bless you. Give it here, please. Ugh, frothy. Hey, you did it. I can feel again.
He prods at his forehead and sticks out his tongue.
Oh, thank you. You're a saint among kith. And I owe you one, I know it. I would have ended up a leper. Averick never did have any sense of proportion. Hey, here. Now that my hands are working again, I've been stitching this together for a while. Least I can give you, really.
Pilferer's grip.
And now I'm going to stand here and breathe for a little while.
Well, you enjoy yourself. It's a minus 10% armor speed penalty. That's really good. And plus 10 dexterity. Or sorry, plus 1 dexterity. Plus 10. Alright, so this is unique. Thieves often favor gloves, boots, and other clothing that makes them nimbler and stealthier. Gloves like these are smooth and tight-fitting, and the leather pads over the fingers and palms help the wearer grip anything. A narrow ledge, a priceless goblet, a razor-sharp dagger more easily. Alright, so I can't get rid of that. I like the might. But she may benefit from this, because I have her... That's only light armor. This is still minus 25% recovery speed. This would help out quite a bit. I need her to attack faster so that she heals faster with her stuff. What does she have? Yeah, we can get rid of the accuracy, I think. Give that to him instead.
Huh?
Does she have stacking dexterity now? So the only reason she had this belt on was for the dexterity as well. So she could use that. As could he. Does he not have a belt? He does not. We'll start with her. Well, actually, you know what? Action speed is more valuable, I think, on Aleph. Let's give that to him instead.
Huh?
Alright, let's go speak to Therisk before we do the other quest. So I feel like it's going to end up in a fight in the Temple of Andra. I'd say dissolve into a fight, but that gives it a negative connotation, and I'm looking forward to it. Doesn't like fighting. I mean, I wield a warhammer, not a weenie hammer.
Watch yourself on them. Coming to your elders for advice, is it? I'm Thier.
Nothing new to say. So this is probably it's only worth 65.
Yeah.
I mean, it stands out. Like that's a stealer? Okay. Like more camping supplies I could snag if I need them.
Right.
I'm hoping you've got good news. I know where the gift bearer cast your heirlooms away. Did you find them? What of the medallion? The chests of offerings to Andra were empty. How's that possible? He scratches his bristly beard, murmuring to himself. A flash of understanding crosses his face. Someone took it. Who? Do you know who? I suspect Lofta knows. I'm going to talk to her. Yeah, we don't know for sure that Lofta's implicated in this. I mean, we can make assumptions, but we only saw Kexetl pulling stuff from the frozen lake. You return. How may the goddess help you? I found your chests. They are filled only with rocks. I see. No use in keeping this charade any longer, is there? The group springs into action. The sounds of unsheathing blades fill the room. Well, she's not messing around. But we shouldn't act so rashly. She holds up a hand. Thieves keep their weapons pointed at you. We've been pretending, yes. But is it so different from what Andra's priests do? Villagers and travelers give us things they want to forget. We make them disappear. Isn't that the same thing? But you do it as an offering to the goddess, and isn't she the one that makes them forget? I guess that was never clarified. We aren't murderers. We prefer to be as far away from this cursed place as we can. Lofta gestures at her accomplices. Why make a bloody mess out of this? I'm willing to help you look the other way. She fixes her eyes on you. What do you propose? A simple deal. You keep our little secret to yourself, and we share some of our offerings with you before we slip away. Kexetl brought back the dwarf's heirlooms. You can have them too. Alright, it's a roleplay, so I'm going to let her go. Because she didn't directly harm anybody, and I know earlier I said I was itching for a fight, but my character doesn't want to fight, necessarily. He wants to complete his contracts. If that means not risking his life in the process, I mean, you take the path of least resistance, right? And I'm still getting stuff here for it. I agree. The heirlooms, something extra, and you're free to go. Smart. Alright, excuse you. That was for your sake. Most of the gifts the goddess receives are worth little, sadly. We do manage to coax some more worthy offerings from her followers sometimes. Here's one. Lofta pulls a pouch from behind the altar to Andra and tosses it to you. The rest in the large chest. She turns to her accomplices and nods. They put their weapons away and begin to gather their belongings. The thieves, packed for the road, form a single line like priests on a pilgrimage. Lofta cracks the door open and peeks outside. She signals the thieves to start their escape and gives you one last glance. This time, we move on. The door closes behind her. This is his family armor. It's heavy. Grants overwhelming wave 1 per rest. This is what Adair's saber does. And then Dancing Bolts. This is a spell that Ravius has access to. It's a level 1 spell. A -1 move speed. It's a little inconvenient. While its original bearer's name has been lost to the ages, the famed White Crest armor features in many tales of a dwarven adherent of Andra, whose blows struck his enemies with all the overbearing power of the sea. The armor's weight was such that the warriors described as moving as through shallow water, but those believing themselves to have the advantage of speed often found they could not outrun the warriors' lightning spells. Oh, that's cool. So the -1 move speed is a narrative quirk. I like that.
Flame and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
I should have read the description of the medallion as well. It should be a quest item. Yep, Ocrune's heirloom. This medallion, an heirloom of Ocrune's family, features an intricate design of interwoven silver and copper strands that coil around a central disc of bloodstone. Its surface, though polished to a perfect finish, has been carved to hold 14 small emeralds in place. While Ocrune values this exquisite heirloom for its sentimental worth, it's clear that it would otherwise command considerable market prices. Prizes, not prices. I mean, either word would have worked there. Alright. I'm hoping you've got good news. I've read all this before. I have your medallion. Let's see it. The dwarf draws a wide smile under his bristly beard. Here it is. Ocrune takes the medallion gingerly in his palms, taking care not to smudge it with his dirty fingertips. Yes, it's her medallion. He smiles, and manages to pull his attention back to you. You've done good here today, I swear. I've had a kingdom's treasure to give you in return. I also found your armor. I don't need it. Don't know what I'd do with it. He nods. Keep it. More luck to you. He turns around and walks away, looking not at the path ahead, but the precious heirloom clenched in his hands. Even so, the stride of his short legs seems filled with confidence.
These brothers of yours.
There's no point to staying mad at them. Besides, I serve the dukes. They appreciate me, even if the brothers don't.
Have you?
Well, if the dukes ever tire of my service, at least I know I have options.
So they're trying to have a conversation while we were conversating with Ocrune. Okay, Lavender Lie is complete. Joining 5 other Eastern Reach mercenaries, Kana became a passenger on an Amoa longship. Swift and full of weapon-bearing sailors, the ship came into regular conflict with pirates during the pursuit of Tama's kidnappers. Eventually, Kana and the crew spotted the Valian caravel holding Tama, were able to overtake it before it reached open water. With grapples and a fair share of acrobatics, the mercenaries and Amoa sailors boarded the caravel with Kana in tow. The battle on the ship's deck was so thick with pistol fire that the smoke made it difficult to tell friend from foe. In the confusing melee, Kana came face to face with the pirate captain. In the subsequent scuffle, the longship collided with the caravel and sent it lurching. The captain slid down a length of the deck and was knocked overboard by a poorly secured cannon. With their leader sinking beneath the waves, the remaining pirates quickly surrendered or dove into the water in an attempt to escape to a nearby island. Upon Tama's return, his friends and family held a huge feast to honor him, Kana and everyone else that helped save him. Lavender Wreath, immune to sickened and irritating. Well, I guess that's a different effect. It's not immune to irritating. This beautiful lavender wreath was a gift from the famed Amoa apothecary Tama Watwa. He made it at a feast after you rescued him from Valian mercenaries in the Deadfire Archipelago. Despite the age of the lavender, it still smells fresh. Oh, we have a visitor. Wait, we had him already. Alright, let's head back to Kana. Oh, 3 level ups. Oh, I leveled up too. So we've been running across a lot of enemies with charmed and dominated. Really all of these effects. Just haven't noticed poison. So I'm thinking Righteous Soul is a good upgrade to get. So I need him to hold the front line, especially in the DLC, where I didn't get rid of Adair, but send Adair back to Kana. So the Paladin's Pure Soul resists all invading forces, granting a bonus to defense against poison and disease, as well as the charmed, dominated, frightened, and terrified effects. These effects also have their durations reduced by 5 seconds. I'm surprised she didn't level up, she's right there at it. Alright, Durance. Ooh, Spell Mastery. So Consecrated Ground is not a buff we need for every fight. Holy Power is one that we could use in every fight. Same with Iconic Projection. We're going with Holy Power instead. So it creates a Zone of Divine Favor, increasing the might and resolve of... Well, I've read this before. Plus 3 might, plus 7 resolve for 40 seconds. Should be long enough to... Ooh, we got new spells too. That buff should last long enough to wrap up any fight that we're in. Save his points for now. Alright, so these are new. Arcane Reflection. Creates a field of arcane energy around the caster, reflecting hostile targeted spells up to 5th level back at their casters for a total of 15 spell levels. Archimir's Capricious Hex. Unleashes a volatile hex upon enemies in the area of effect, causing them to become either dazed, sickened, or paralyzed, depending on its own mysterious whims. I like the way that one sounds, I'll probably keep that one. And it's only faux AoE, which is even better. Chain Lightning. The caster calls forth a tremendous bolt of electricity that arcs directly into a single target and then jumps between up to 6 nearby enemies. Others in the area of effect are not harmed by the arcane lightning. Kitzel's Martial Power. Caster temporarily sacrifices arcane power for martial might. Wizard gains bonuses to deflection, accuracy, might, constitution, and dexterity, but becomes unable to cast spells or switch grimoires for the duration of the spell. I actually really like that spell. Not for Aloth, but for a multi-class build. I am a big fan of that. Alright, Death Ring. Calls a black ring of a necrotic energy into being that spreads out in all directions, causing crow damage to enemies it touches, and potentially destroying those with low endurance. Gaze of the A-Dragon. Gives the caster the mystifying gaze of the Aedra creature that provides the spell's namesake, petrifying enemies within the area of effect. Also like that one. Amenaletta's Precisely Piercing Burst. Creates a burst of deadly force around the caster, causing any enemies in the immediate vicinity to take pierce damage, bypassing their damage reduction. Then Nenegot's Freezing Pillar. So we saw this guy in that vision last episode, where we found that broken staff at that campsite, where we also found the map. He was killing his apprentice, who stole from him. Calls down an enormous spike of ice, Pulsing freezes damage on enemies in the area of effect and creating an intense circle of frost that can hobble foes it touches. So I think I'm going to grab these two. I'm using him more for crowd control when I elect to actually use his spells. Spell mastery here. I'll grab this. The Curse of Blackened Sight for the blinded.
Huh?
Alright, let's look at Durance's new spells real quick. Only 2 castings. So Cleansing Flame. The priest hurls a ball of holy fire at the enemy that purges its protections and speeds its doom. Does continuous burn damage for 5 seconds and accelerates a timer for all beneficial effects on the target except heals, as well as those of any continuous damage effects. Leaps up to 2 additional nearby enemies. It's pretty good. Crowns for the Faithful. Crowns allies in the glory of the priest god, imbuing all allies in the area of effect with bonuses to perception, intellect, and resolve. A good one too. Minor Intercession. Calls upon the aid of the priest god, restoring endurance and reducing durations of negative effects for all allies in the area of effect. Prayer Against Treachery. Galvanizes the devotion of the party, granting immunity to the charmed and dominated afflictions. Alright, glad we finally have that one. Litany Against Major Afflictions. Grants a single ally temporary immunity to the charmed, dominated, paralyzed, petrified, stunned, terrified, and weakened afflictions. And Spark the souls of the righteous. Put the of over there. Ignites a powerful zeal within allies that manifests in an aura that shocks any enemies near them. For 40 seconds, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Alright, so the level up slowed us down a little bit. I was hoping to head over to Kana this episode and see about triggering Kana's quest.
Sure.
I guess we didn't explore out here, did we? It had us enter the village first thing. Couple mushrooms, can't complain. I know I didn't have to walk all the way over here for this. I could have used any exit. Either way, gonna call it here. Our next episode, we'll head back to Kana, see about doing Kana's quest, or see if I accidentally locked myself out of it because I forgot about it. And then we'll come back here. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.